There's a war going on, the books can't escape from the team. Called the morning steam, it's time to break, run for cover. That's gonna cover, that's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott, running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the morning steam. What? Ramon Scott, sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money. You know how we do it.
And a pleasant good morning to you from the sports betting capital of the world, Las Vegas. This is Ramon Scott, and welcome to the Morning's Team show for Friday, December 13th. Should we just shut the stream off and go home? Let's try our luck today on Friday with our NBA card tonight. A couple games, a few games in college basketball, one in the National Hockey League because they know how to schedule their games. And well, I'll also talk about one game in the FCS playoffs. We're down to the final 8 teams, and there is one playoff game tonight. So why not discuss it? There's also some domestic football features on Friday. Let me say hello to everyone in the chat, and thank you for joining me here on the Sports Money Network, the fastest growing YouTube channel for sports betting content. All right, gang, how'd it go last night for you guys? We'll talk about the game that featured no touchdowns between the 49ers and the Rams, or I should say the Rams and the 49ers. Let's give top billing to the team that looks like they're going to be battling for the playoffs. Could we see the Rams and Seahawks get flexed in to the final game of the season? Winner goes in. That's what it might be looking like in the NFC West. For the 49ers, it's off into the sunset with that loss last night. They really have been eliminated virtually here anyway with that loss. Let's say hello to our chat all-stars and get ready for our show tonight. Truth Teller here. He warmed up to me eventually, I guess, unless he's kidding. Thanks, Truth Teller. Joe T, he's here. What's he got to say? He's getting mad here. Look at this. No way the Rams win. But wait a minute, let me read this right. Go Rams after the 4. No way. Oh, okay. This is, I think he's talking to the chat, not me, certainly, right? And total letdown. Get the heck out of here, Joe. Getting on the. There's no doubt. Let's just cut to the chase. We'll continue to say hello, but there's no doubt that Team Steam consensus was on the 49ers. I wasn't. I said it right to your faces right here. I said, give me the Rams as my play here on the show yesterday. But Team Steam consensus on the 49ers here last night. And, well, it was the Rams. And I had the premium pick winner on the under, gang. I don't know if I could take a nice victory lap for that. I know if we had a few unders in there as well. But it did feel like mostly the over. The steam was on the over. And hope you guys caught the show last night with the gang over here, and also in conjunction with Razor Sharp Picks. They did a pretty good job last night with the show, but for the most part, it was a split panel. And, well, Mikey Money was with me on the Rams and Joe on the Rams as well, but it did feel like mostly 49er love yesterday, and it was all hands on deck for the 49ers. You saw some guys in there battling some injuries for sure, with Bosa in there, Purdy in there. He obviously was not 100% unless he's just that bad. I tried to talk him up on the show and said, hey, don't sleep on Purdy. 6th in QBR. They were really, Mikey was a little bit unfair to Purdy. look, it was a rough night for the quarterbacks, and I think the weather had a lot to do with that early on. But Purdy, I said his numbers had been strongly improved once that the Niners were getting a bit healthier, but they just didn't have enough health last night, and they might have had a little case of the dropsies on the biggest play of the game there, it felt like, but it was all about the Rams and this rapidly improving team and defense here. I won't say it like that. I mean, they're certainly in the battle there in the NFC West, but they turned to that running game with Kyron Williams doing a great job again. Stafford was able to overcome that rough start. There was no doubt the wet conditions in the first half, and the offense has started to get off there a little bit. But that was the first time in the series history that the Rams and the 49ers played a game. 152 games in the series history between the Rams and the 49ers. The first time the teams had never had a touchdown in their game. In fact, it was the first time that the teams never had a touchdown after 3 quarters. With the results last night. So Rams defense, 3 sacks, a nice interception in the end zone. I'd say it was very good coverage, thrown in double coverage, but it was an easy pick. The Rams have won 7 of their last 9 games, and that's probably it. For the Niners, they were outgained basically 300 to 200, and they went just 3.8 pass yards per attempt on 14 of 31 and have lost 4 of their last 5. So Rams have been scoring a lot of points. They won the previous game 44 to 42. They won this one 12 to 6. Good teams find different ways to win. The Rams grinded out in that division game last night. And yeah, I better have had the clean sweep myself in that one, because I maybe had a rough night with some of the other sports. I think my winning streak may have come, or at least good run may have kind of ended with a little bit of a thump in some of these games. Although we did just wrap up our Chinese basketball action by going 3-1 overnight with my free picks over there. Almost swept the card there, but a garbage bucket in the Shenzhen and Shandong game cost me. But other than that, last night we did have just one winner in the NBA with the New Orleans Pelicans getting that late money against Sacramento. I did have the under here on the show yesterday, and I also did come in yesterday with Team Steam consensus with Mikey Money on pregame as well with the Toronto Raptors plus the points. I think they got it by at least a half a point, maybe 1 point for some yesterday with the Raptors. So still just 1-2 in my NBA and college basketball. I don't think I could find a winner yesterday. We did have some nice winners here on the show, including Bethune-Cookman Virginia game to go under. It was 10-2, 8 minutes into the game. I don't know if it was. It was approximately that. Virginia had a real rough time, but were able to come all the way back and still get the money in the game with Bethune-Cookman last night, despite really a dismal offensive performance. Maybe it's typical Virginia, maybe not. They got the cover, so hand to them there. But the big game last night, yeah, I was watching it certainly and commented in the chat yesterday, although the guys don't notice, but best game of the night, Iowa State over Iowa. Man, the Iowa State guards, this is the number 3 ranked team in the country. They were down 9 with 11:30 left and were able to win the game and get the money by 9 yesterday. I had the winner on the over. I guess I did have some winners here on the show with college basketball. The premiums were a flop. Iowa State, though, with that win, and we did have the over as our show pick yesterday, but Iowa State, I took Iowa in the premium, and I thought it was looking good, but Iowa State, those guards are good, and they are worthy of the number 3 ranking right now. I don't know if I was downgrading them or I just thought Iowa, and they did. I was covering basically the whole game until the last minutes of the game, and what it was the Iowa State guards totally wearing down it was like they hit a wall, and Iowa was doomed. They were out of gas. It did help that ISU had a big advantage at the free throw line. In fact, Jefferson went 10 for 12. The whole Iowa team went 13 of 15. So maybe a little bit of advantage there, but they shot equally from 3-point range, and maybe the difference came at the line or so. So, all right. let's say hello, or let me cover team's team consensus. Have Campbell Camels. So did I yesterday as our pick here on the show. So good job there by Team Steam to get that one. But the football game cost the consensus parlay, and I think there was another one maybe as well there. NHL, we did have some nice winners yesterday, including the Capitals over the Blue Jackets here on the show. We also gave out the Penguins here on the show yesterday. We had the Ducks as well on the buck line. And I did have a premium pick winner, Ducks and Maple Leafs game to go under. Also, premium pick winner in the NHL, Kings and Devils game to go under, premium winner. Red Wings, Flyers game to go under. We had the Flyers here on the show yesterday as well, and I had the Blackhawks on the puck line against the Islanders. So, free picks seem to be winning here yesterday for me, but then we ended kind of with a thump there in hockey yesterday. In fact, I don't know if I could find Utah. We had Utah late winner. Boston and Kraken game to go over, also a late winner here on the show. So, but kind of had some L's there with our late hockey action. They're Kraken beating up on the Bruins. So, all right, let me continue to say hello and quit making excuses and try to bring some winners your way. We won't be here very long today. I could imagine us getting out of here in 1 hour or so if I could just stop talking. Hello to Cash Kane yesterday, and he said, how about that Lightning game to go over there yesterday against Tampa Bay? And let's see who else. Irish King is here today. Here's Thomas Lewis. Good morning to my good friend here. Like this video, subscribe to our channel, Sports Money Network, Sports Money here on YouTube. Hit the thumbs up. Greatly appreciate it. Supports us here on the channel. Nicholas Handy. Hello. Joe W. Hello. AOD is here this morning as well. And Stop Geo here. Stop Geo was the one I was talking with last night about that great game with Iowa State. So here's AOD talking Detroit basketball. Yeah, I took the points there with Detroit, and they were down big time there for sure. That game I totally whiffed on, so I didn't touch it here on the monologue. All right. Hey, Kelly McInnes is here. Great to see Kelly again. And good morning. Thanks for stopping by. Curtis is here as well. Thank you, Curtis, for your support. And let's see here, Fernando here. Fernando says I should do this show more often. I guess every day isn't enough for my buddy Fernando. Appreciate it, my friend. And let's see who else. Well, here. Let's see. Oh, Kelly might be talking. Thomas is a subscriber to the picks here. It's a little different with the support here on the channel. I'm kind of, I don't think Mike might be mad if I say I'm kind of like hired help. I'm contracted. I did, brought my show over here. So the support is different, but believe me, I'm a member of the Sports Money Network. How about my gear here? Thank you to Mikey for dressing me up and make me look a little better here on the show. Daniel here as well. And Tremaine says that Debo catch, and it set everybody off. So T-Moss, hello. Nice to have T-Moss here today. Elliot Jameson, hello. Thank you, you guys. Appreciate it all here. And also, let's see here. Thomas says, where's my story? The memberships only last 30 days, I think, in the YouTube realm. So I don't have any control over that. But, I know who here. Like I said, there's a little bit of a difference. The subscriptions compared to the membership on YouTube is different just because you're a subscriber to my picks. Unfortunately, it doesn't make you a member on YouTube, and it lasts for 30 days to get a Sports Money membership every month. I think it's $4.99 to get the star, and we're hopefully going to have some content just for those people. So T Moss talking about the player who refused to go in there on the 49ers last night. So yeah, you don't want to do that, right? All right. Appreciate it, gang. So I think that was a decent look at some of the action there last night in sports and sports betting. I don't know what else we can cover, so let me just do my plug here, and then we'll get started with our show. All right, and let's see. I think it is automatic on the memberships, but maybe you have to click something. I know I'm a member of like a bunch of channels out there, except for any of them run by Razor. Then I just show up. All right. They invited me last night. I just got caught up in, I just hung out in the chat. They were a great panelist. They don't need me to get in the way of that great show there. But I almost did pull if the guys are out there, when they got down to 2 people on screen, I was all queued up and ready to go. And then a couple of them came back from the refrigerator, I think. So, all right. Here we go. And team, let's see. I think God said hello to everybody. Let me talk about my picks over at winnable.com. This is where you can get my pick. This is what I'm talking about. This is different from subscribing to the YouTube channel here. This is how you support me on the channel, actually. When you donate to the channel or become a member, that supports our whole family here, what Mikey's doing with running the channel, building this community a little bit. We've got more in store for you, I promise, here on the Sports Money Network. But to get my additional picks, I'm going to come on this show and give you picks every day for an hour or two. But you can get more picks from me, some of those that I just mentioned, including the Rams 49ers under and other picks there last night, and those overnight basketball selections, tennis when it returns. All you have to do is subscribe over at winnable.com. Click the QR code in the lower right-hand corner of the screen. This is really how you support me here on the channel. Keep me coming back to do the show every day by, subscribing to these picks. It costs about 50 cents a day. I know this one's tough here. If you're already doing well, you don't need me. I appreciate you coming in and being part of the team. But if you want to know what I'm on, just subscribe over at winnable.com. Usually a handful of plays every day. I say a handful. It's more than that on some of these cards. Maybe today will be a little lighter, but just know what I'm on. Here, I'm a high volume player, and you'll know my picks sent right to your phone. Set the notifications, and you can get my picks every day at winnable.com. Use the promo code STEAM to save 20% off those packages. Like I said, if you get the monthly package of $20 per month, you use the promo code STEAM, and it comes out to about 50 cents a day. And like I said, I used to be on a channel where I was charging $25, $35, $45 for just 3, 5, 7 plays in one day. If you're going to clear a good winning percentage and also cover those costs, you got to be betting upwards of 2, 3, even a nickel. Really, and here with these picks, I'm trying to cater to those players, average players. They said DraftKings average bet is usually about $100. So if you're paying $5 for a play, that ain't going to cut it unless you're hitting at a really strong pace. You got to beat that. You're trying to beat the 52.38% on those straight up bets. You got to get upwards of 56% to do that. Now that isn't, unconceivable, but if I could just pass these along to you like this, this is a better situation. I hope you enjoy getting my picks over at winnable.com. All right. Appreciate it, gang, for listening to me with that. There's the address with / Ramon, and use that promo code STEAM. All right. Well, we don't have much in the world of news, so we're going to get to the picks here and get to the games today. All right. And see here what we got. We're going to, I guess, start in this NBA card here today. Again, with the, teams that advanced here to Las Vegas. They kind of pieced together this schedule here for the games today. We've got 8 games here in the NBA. Let's take a look. and get the picks going, see what you guys have, and try to come up with some winners and a consensus picks here today. All right, we'll start off with the ugliest game of the day, anyway, with the spread, at least, with the Wizards taking on the Cavaliers here. The Cavaliers are a massive favorite here in this one, minus 17 today against the Wizards. Look, the Cavs are one of the best cover teams in the NBA, and the Wizards are far from that. Now, the Cavs, of course, are coming off of a loss to the Heat to end that winning streak, but they're still 11-3 against the spread at home this season. Meanwhile, Washington, they're an underdog every game, and they're 6-15-1 against the spread. So they're not winning, they're not covering right now. The Wizards are, not only a huge disappointment, but they really aren't showing much fire at all here. But they were able to get a win, a big upset win a couple of games back against Denver, but then they came back to lose to Memphis at home the next night, 140-112. So that's the type of deficits sometimes these guys have been losing to a little bit. Now, 4 of the last 5 meetings between these two teams have gone under. 6 of the last 8 meetings between the two teams here in Cleveland have also gone under. Cleveland has won and covered 5 straight meetings at home against the Wizards, but are they covering 17 points, gang, today? Let's see what you think in this one here. I think if you look at these teams, they kind of trend over, but like I said, the series is an under trend. So let's see what you guys have. I won't say my pick just yet because maybe I was jinxing myself. And also, we've got some steam coming in from college basketball. So let me just report that while you guys maybe are typing in a play in this first game, this ugly game. Colorado is taking steam here against South Dakota State. Colorado was an 8-point favorite, but they're up to 8.5 or 9 here right now. There's been a couple other moves in college basketball we'll pass along as we get to the college. I think I've only picked 3 of the 8 games today to look at. Not a great schedule, even though it's a short schedule. They've got some double-digit favorites in there. So, all right, Cavs team total over here for Daniel and Cliff Lloyd here today as well. Also, Thomas says over in this one, I think. AOD says the Wizards are on poverty level here right now. All right. And let's see, Thomas saying Cleveland will run away with it. And Elliot says they're on a winning streak at home. But can they cover 17 points? I'm going to take the over in this game at 232.5 here in this one. I think that's where it is right now. It opened maybe at about 230.5, 231.5. So it's moved up here a little bit. I'm trying to kind of go against the head-to-head series a little bit here in this one. But again, there's no doubt that Cleveland is playing once again here at a top level in the league. In Washington, really, other than New Orleans, I don't know. Even Charlotte's been better, right? I think that Washington is probably the bottom team in the East here as far as what they've been doing here this season. Drew, hello, nice to see you, Drew, today. Oops, sorry about that, Drew. There you are. And I'm going to end up here on the over with the Wizards and the Cavs. I am saving one of the pick for the premium. I don't know if you can tell what I'm on, but still going to be hard to get there with that one. All right, let's take a look here right now. The next matchup with the Pacers taking on the 76ers. It's come a long way from that early start a little bit for the Pacers. I say early start. I guess it was a while. They had a little bit of a run there early on where they were covering some numbers. But, man, the Pacers are a disappointment here at 10-15. The Sixers, are they putting something together here right now? Pardon me. Are they putting something together here right now with their little bit of a winning ways of late? Philly coming off a pair of wins and covers. They're on a cover streak big time right now. The Sixers won their last 2, and they've on a little bit of a roll here. They beat Chicago, got the money on the road last time out. They also won against Orlando. It was actually a split against Orlando, but they covered both games. They covered on the road in that one. And they also won and covered against Charlotte, won and covered against Detroit. Not great teams, but Philly was, they're looking to get it wherever they can here at this point because of their awful start. But they're going up against a Pacers team that you talk about disappointments, right? I mean, 10 and 15, they can still recover at this point, but they're going the opposite direction here of the 76ers, believe it or not. The Sixers here turning it around a little bit. Pardon me, gang. So we can get what you guys want to do here in this one. 5 straight meetings between these two teams have gone over, and 6 of the last 7 meetings between the teams in Philadelphia have gone over as well. So let's see if you guys agree with that. Or also, let's see here. Indiana, what does that run now? Right, 1-10. Maybe some had a push in there. It looks like it's either 1-10 or 1-9-1 against the spread in their last 12 games here. Or what is that? Maybe that's 11 games. Maybe it's 1-10-1. Whatever the case may be, it's a pretty dry spell here at this point. And Philadelphia has been winning games at home, but it's a matter of can they get the money here, it feels like. In this one, like I said, this has been a big time over here right now. I said 5 straight overs, but I think it's actually 7 straight overs. Let me see some of the numbers here. Last meeting, 118, 114, it went over. Philly got the win at Indiana this season, and then there were last year they were all going over there. So all right, go ahead, chat. Let's see what you have today with this one. With the Pacers and I'm taking the Sixers. Believe it or not, I'm going to lay points with this Sixer team. The Pacers are not covering spreads. There's no doubt about it here right now. Still going to be tough to grab maybe 6.5, but for my play here on the show, I do like that total here. Let's see what you got. I think Curtis, though, is going to go under here in this one. 76ers first half and full game for Cash Kane, and he likes the over as well. Elliott's on the under. Tremaine says the Pacers, they don't do well on Fridays. They're looking forward to the weekend or something like that. Here's Daniel. He's with me on Philly here today. And Thomas on the Sixers, Jermaine's on the Sixers, and here we have a consensus play. So I'm on it too, gang. I think I already stated it. I would have pivoted to the total here, but I'm going premium with the total, so I'll just hang on with Philadelphia with you guys. I like the Sixers to cover it here in this one. The Sixers, look, they're 4-7 against the spread at home, but Indiana's 4-10 against the spread on the road. The one thing, like I said, about the Sixers, they have at least been covering a few here of late. They've covered 6 of their last 10. And like I said, I guess it's actually 5 or 6 straight anyway. So I guess that's a better way to look at it. All right. I think that's it from you guys on this one. Want to say hello to Subhuman today. Great to see Sub here in the chat. Like I said, we've got domestic football today for Friday night features. Torino at Empoli in Serie A, Valencia and Valladolid here in La Liga. You got Wolfsburg and Freiburg in Bundesliga, and Saint Etienne and Toulouse in League One as the features here on Friday night in soccer. All right, I'll keep it moving here though right now and see what we got. Next up, it's the Lakers and the Timberwolves here in this one. And we know there's some storylines here for sure with LeBron expected to miss here in this one. He's out with a foot injury. I know there's a lot of noise and talk going on here, but really he's missing the game because of a foot injury and not anything else. when they say he's going to be away from the team, it's because he has to nurse this injury. So it's not for anything else, at least just yet, or whatever, was going on in the X and all the talk and some of the stories and whatnot. And you want to, just let's talk hoop here. So Austin Reeves also questionable in this game as well. The Wolves have Joe Ingram out of this game tonight. So how will it fare with the Lakers here? And no Bronny James, by the way. He's down back in the G League. But LeBronny hate. And look, I don't, LeBron. We know LeBronny's career where it's we don't know where it's headed or where it's going to end up. But he did score 30 points. His best performance as a pro in his last G League game against, I think they were playing the Valley Suns. And Bronny, if you haven't heard, he did have a 30-point game in his last outing. So, you can say what you want about the G League. It is the minor league to the NBA, but, any league, it's pretty tough to score 30 points. And Bronny was hot in his last start in the G League. So let's talk about this one, though, with the Lakers 13-11. The Wolves are 12-11, but the Wolves are big favorites with Bronny, with LeBron out here tonight in this one. So, let's see what you guys have and how will it affect here. It's built into the line, no doubt, gang. So what would the line have been if LeBron was in there? I don't know, but Minnesota here on a little bit of a roll at this point. Let me see what they failed to win that last game, but they were on a winning streak before that. They did lose to Golden State in that 114-106 game at the Warriors. Remember, they played the back-to-back games out there, and Lakers are definitely on a spread. We're on a spread losing streak, but they've actually covered in their last two games. They won and covered against Portland, 107-98, and they covered against Atlanta in that wild 134-132 loss at the Hawks, but they were getting 3.5 in that one. So see what you got here with these two. The Lakers are really poor against the spread. We know that, but you know what? So are the Wolves. The Lakers are 4-9 against the number on the road. The Wolves are 3-8 against the spread at home. So it's a lesser of two evils here, maybe. We do know that one thing is both these teams are going under here of late. Both teams are 3-7 to the under in their last 10 games. Steam came in on the over in this game. The total here right now at 214.5. Let's see. The chat will probably go a little bit good on this one with the Lakers game here, but feels like it might be unanimous on the Wolves here. But like I said, it's built into the line. Maybe the Lakers will be, I think we'd like to see at least Reeves in there to give the Lakers a chance, right? Everyone knows LeBron's out, but Reeves is such a key to this team. Let's see what we got here. At least keeping it together, Minnesota and under for Curtis. Jermaine says, I'll take those Lakers. And Elliot says it too. They'll keep it together here. Thomas likes Rudy to have a big game. Hello to Super True Story today. And let's see here. Daniel says he likes Anthony Edwards. PRA over here. Philly Eagle Flyer. He went a little deeper here than the features that I suggested today. Appreciate that. And he went all the way down there into Belgium today. All right. Joe says take the Lakers here. So you guys we have some Lakers support here for sure. Hello, good morning to Old E. He did not like that NFL game last night. And Thomas maybe likes Edwards here to have a good one. And Daniel said it was a terrible game last night. Okay, I'm going to take the Wolves here, lay 8.5 to beat the Lakers in this one. And good morning to I hope I could say Crook in there. I know that that's my good friend Terrell W., but just easier sometimes when I'm going along there. All right, let's see. T-Wolves money line for Kane. And Tom, and no, I think Davis, for the Lakers tonight, it's really just those guys that I mentioned. Davis is definitely in. He's not even listed on the list, on the injured list tonight, believe it or not. All right. Daniel says, say something here. I don't know what I'm supposed to say to get more viewers, but all right. All right, gang, let's keep it moving here right now and take a look at the next one with the Nets taking on the Grizzlies here. Now we're talking some teams that have been good to betters this season. It's Memphis with a 17-8 record. They're back to winning again. They're a little bit healthier here right now. And look, again, they did great when they weren't healthy. This is a good team. Brooklyn, they're not great at 10-14, but they've been getting the money for the most part this season. They have cooled down here a little bit spread-wise, although have covered the spread in their last two games after they kind of went back to losing some games against the spread. Memphis here, though, a double-digit favorite. I'm showing 11.5 on screen right there, and that looks like the line. There might be some 11s out there still, but a big spread here with these two teams tonight, Brooklyn and Memphis. The widely reported steam did come in on the over in this game. Brooklyn has a better series history with Memphis, although it is an infrequent series, of course, being a non-conference game, but still, Brooklyn has covered the spread in 4 of the last 5 meetings, but Memphis here, a little bit of a roll at home, winning games here and getting some covers as well. They've won and covered 3 straight, including 2 straight on the road for returning back home here as they swept a couple of games at Boston and Washington and got the money in those as well. So Brooklyn, like I said, pretty strong here, 9-3-1 against the spread on the road, but Memphis 10-4 against the spread at home. And these two teams, Memphis does go over. Like I said, the steam came in on the over. Memphis is 11-7 to the over as a favorite. See what you guys have here in this one with Brooklyn taking on Memphis. And we're going to go with Cash Kane says, lay it with the Grizz. Elliott says the Grizzlies have covered the spread in each of their last 8 night games against teams that are below 500. They've covered. Okay, I'm down. Let's do it. I'll take Memphis. I'll throw that little stat. I usually don't follow that one too closely, right? But I do like the fact that they are covering spreads against sub 500 teams. I'm not too interested in the day-night splits on that. 80% of NBA games are night games, but still, I do like that. So that does show they are covering against losing teams for sure. Appreciate that, Elliot. I'm going to go with the Memphis Grizzlies here, actually. Curtis says the Nets will cover. Brooklyn says the Nets and over. I know I've been Nets. Daniel says take the Nets. So you guys are pretty hot on them. Here's Irish King, though, says Grizzlies first quarter and first half. Justin says this is his responsibility. Sports money is money. Thank you, Justin. All right. And I'm going to take the Memphis Grizzlies here to take care of this one against the Net. I'll take them. I'll lay it. I know. Look, I'm Mr. Brooklyn, right? We've cashed a lot. We've been rolling with Brooklyn kind of all season. But we're running into a little bit of a juggernaut here in Memphis, and I think Memphis might get it on a Friday. All right, let's see here. Next up, it's going to be the Hornets taking on the Bulls. Here in this one, the Bulls are favored by 5.5. Bulls are just 10-15. Hornets 17-7. The Bulls have lost 2 straight, but the Hornets are coming off of a win over Indiana on the road, 113-109. They did a nice job. Now, this series has belonged to Chicago here of late, this Eastern Conference series. Chicago's covered 5 straight meetings against Charlotte here. 4 of the last 5 meetings between these two teams here in Chicago have gone under. The widely reported steam, however, did come in on the over here at this big number now at 232. The spread has been on the move here of late. It wouldn't surprise me if we do get the steam notice here right now. I've got to update it. The Bulls are -6.5. It's not any reported steam anyway, but there is a move in effect here. It feels like right now. Some of the books are still at 6 or 6.5, and if the Bulls are on the move, I'm going to use this one as my pick now, as it's getting going a little bit. Charlotte has been kind of the better cover team here. They're 13-9-1 as an underdog this season. The Bulls are just 5-7 against the spread at home. They are 2-1 against the spread as a favorite. They don't not favored very often, but they are here in this one. So maybe the feeling might be the Hornets can get this money with two bad teams here, but Chicago has owned this series pretty good. And maybe the Hornets are having a little bit of, like I said, they did win their last game to snap that losing streak, but Chicago's lost 2 in a row here as well. So we'll see what you guys maybe want to do in this one with Charlotte taking on the Bulls. Chicago's won 6 straight meetings here straight up also against the Hornets here of late. And one other big trend that I saw was that the Bulls have covered 16 of their last 19 dating back to last season when coming off of a home loss. So let's see what you got here with the Hornets taking on the Bulls in this one. And there's Terrell. Okay, that's cool. He's got the lucky 7s. I could have remembered, but let's see here. Anything here? Elliot says the Bulls' last 5 home games have gone under. Yeah, let me see. Off of a lot. I like that, and I like the fact that these two teams have been going under in their series as well. Look, the steam came in on the over. The Bulls have been an over team for the most part. They're 15-10 to the over this season, but Charlotte is 8-14-1 as an underdog. And I mentioned those Bulls games as a favorite where they're 2-1 against the spread. They did go 1-2 to the under. I don't know if that's not enough sample size, but it does. The Bulls have covered, like I said, they've been covering this season, but as a favorite might be a little harder as far as that spreads about that total is concerned. Let's see here. Curtis, I think, likes the Bulls here in this one. And Daniel says maybe the Bulls here. And Fernando likes the Bulls as well. I'm on the Bulls here. Jermaine says that's too many points. Sharon's here today, and thank you for coming by, Sharon. All right, I'll take the Bulls in this one. The Clippers are going to take on the Nuggets here on Friday night. The Clippers are 14-11. The Nuggets are just 12-10. This is NBA TV action here. NBA TV game tonight with the Clippers taking on Denver. Look, the Clippers have been a moneymaker. There's no doubt about it. They're 16-9 against the spread so far, and the Nuggets are 3-11-1 as a favorite right now. Now, I think the Sharps are going to prefer laying the points here with Denver tonight. I can't prove it necessarily yet, although the steam did come in on the over here in this one. It was 226 or so maybe on some of the openers. We're looking at 228.5 here right now, and I'm showing Denver about a 6.5 point favorite. Clippers 7-3 against the spread on the road, 10-7 against the spread as a favorite. Nuggets 3-6-1 against the spread as an underdog. Now, this series between the two teams has been Clippers strong. Clippers have covered 5 of the last 6 meetings between these two teams. Although Denver's won 5 of the last 6 meetings at home, Clippers are still getting the money. Denver favored by too many points usually against the Clippers. It's been the Clippers that have won the last 4 meetings between the two teams of late. So I've got to grab the Clippers plus the points here. My Clippers to get the money here against the Nuggets. Nuggets have been going over for sure here of late. with 7 of their last 8 games at home going over. Clippers do trend under 10, 14, and 1 to the under, but the Nuggets over trends much, much stiffer, it feels like, here in this one, and that steam came in on the over. I'll take the Clippers here as my pick on the Morning Steam Show. Let's go to the chat. Thomas says the Bulls were a consensus play back on that other one. So I'm on Team Steam consensus on 2 plays here yesterday. Fernando said you got a little parlay in there. Thank you. And let's see. Jermaine says the Clippers been covering so far on Fridays. And under for Curtis in this one. Thomas likes the Clippers here. Daniel likes the Clippers with me as well. And let's see what else. Elliot says you got to know what's going on with Murray here in this one. And, I apologize if I talked a little bit over some of the injuries. I think the most notable ones in some of those other games, you do have some of the Ja Morant probable. That was kind of a big deal, the big injury in that Memphis game, it felt like. And let me see here. I think we had what am I doing? Oh, I'm checking Jamal Murray's status here. And also don't forget maybe James Harden, but he's probable. Kawhi Leonard, I will just mention, I know you guys are going to make fun of, he has started to practice. So we could be seeing Leonard here debut shortly. Probably not. He's begun to work out. I guess that's the only way that I can put it here right now. Murray still questionable with that hamstring, so we'll see. That may be a deal breaker for you guys as far as getting on the game or waiting to get on the game. So, all right, here let's see. Over sounds good. Daniel says Jokic triple double here for Justin. Bobby Mack is here today as well, and Jermaine says. Jermaine says that's a joke. No, it's true. Kawhi is starting to work out. He has not played yet this season, Thomas, but I think it's still going to be the same. I think if he is able to perform, he can perform. But all right, and let's see. I don't know, Jermaine. He's definitely played well when he's in there. It seems like. That's just a matter of his health here. Basically has no cartilage in his knees. Getting that fake cartilage. What do they do? Is it like caulked in there? Or how do they do that? All right, give me the Clippers on that one, and we'll move on here. With the Suns taking on the Jazz here. The Suns are favored in this one by 7.5. The Jazz can be lumped in there with those pitiful teams, it feels like, so far this season. They're not winning for sure, and they're not covering either, although they did knock off Portland in convincing fashion, but then they came back and lost to Sacramento by 44 points. So they're on the lopsided end of a lot of games, it does feel like here right now. Now Phoenix is not covering any numbers either. They're just 8-15 against the spread overall. Utah 3-7-1 against the spread at home. These two teams have had some overs. 5 straight meetings between these two teams have gone over, but Utah's kind of been going under at home. Now Phoenix usually handles these guys and wins the game. They also got the money in the first meeting of the season back about 3 weeks, so maybe a month ago now. Utah lost at home 120-112 as Phoenix was a 5.5 point favorite. So now you're laying a little bit 2 points more here in this one. Maybe it's even 8 here right now is what I'm showing with Phoenix. Now Kevin Durant is going to be back here. He is probable after that ankle sprain has kind of healed itself here. Markkanen could be resting here in this one, and Clarkson is also questionable. So we'll see what you guys want to do. Phoenix red hot to the over, 9-2 to the over on the road, but Utah 3-8 to the under at home. The steam came in here on the over at 229. And so now we're up to 231-ish or so, 231 and a half maybe here right now. So I'm going to lay it. I'm going to lay it here with the Phoenix Suns. Some of these Utah games have been really lopsided here. They are not looking very competitive. Maybe this is the night. I'm going to try a favorite here in this one with Phoenix on the road. And see if you guys like this one at all with let's see here. Elliot says each of the last 5 games between the two teams have gone over. So I got to like that. And let's see here. And Rich says, yeah, that Jazz injury report, right? When you have Markkanen, you have Clarkson, both questionable. I think that Markkanen doesn't feel like he's going to make the lineup here a little bit. So Justin likes the over here in this one. And yeah, Rich says, look, I mean, they didn't cover their last game. They lost by 8. They were getting 5.5. Now they're getting 8 points. So, this is going to be my free pick, if you know what I mean. Thomas is on Phoenix here. And Daniel says, what about the Suns team total over here possibly tonight? All right, I think that's going to do it on this one. Let's go to the last game in the NBA tonight with the San Antonio Spurs on the road here, taking on the Portland Trailblazers. San Antonio comes in 500 at 12-12 here, and they are favored by 3.5. Portland's on a losing streak again. They've lost 4 straight games, including that road loss at the Lakers, 107-98 last time. Out. San Antonio did win, but didn't cover in that game. We had New Orleans in that game, remember, against San Antonio. San Antonio was favored in that one. I'm not sure, actually. I'm thinking about it now. We did have the winner on New Orleans in their last game, and nonetheless, the Spurs have failed to cover in 4 straight games, but they did win last time out. So Portland maybe has some of the numbers that could indicate cover here, because San Antonio is 11-13 overall against the spread. Portland is 12-10 against the spread as an underdog. The series history, though, between these two teams have definitely shown some overs. I think you guys will probably note that in the chat. 6 of the last 8 meetings have gone over, and not only that, 15 of the last 22 meetings here, basically 10 years worth of sample size between the franchises, have gone over when they've played here in Portland. So what are you going to do in this one when the Spurs take on the Blazers here tonight in the Rose City? San Antonio, interestingly enough, as a road favorite. Now, it doesn't happen very often. They've been favored 8 times this season, but not all of them on the road. That's for sure. I don't know how many of them they've been favored actually here on the road, but it can't be too many. But still, San Antonio wins when they're favored on the road. They've won 9 straight times when they were a road favorite. And Portland on that losing streak here against the spread. So also San Antonio has gone over the total in 5 straight games as a favorite this season. Portland 9-13-1 to the under as a dog, but that series history, the steam came in on the over as well, up to 224.5 here from a low of maybe 223. Spurs and Blazers in the chat. Let's take a look and see with Fernando here. He might not be playing quarterback in the bowl game, but he's got the Spurs -3.5 here. Thomas likes San Antonio as well. Daniel will take the Blazers here. Curtis is on the Spurs. Ramon is on the Spurs. I'll lay 3.5 here on the road with San Antonio against Portland in this one. I like the total, I think, as a premium play, though. And it does feel like this is a pretty public side, actually. So I'll still try them here. There's a lot of support though here with, let's see here, Elliott's on the Blazers as well, so we're seeing two-way action. It feels like here. Feels pretty even here. Elliott's on the over here. Oh no, Thomas says no. You're missing it. It is the Spurs as a consensus play here in this one. All right, feels like it's about maybe 5-2. Maybe it was 4-2. Let's see here. There. Thank you, Philly Eagle Flyer, for your soccer action here. I'm sure. Okay, Elliott was on the Blazers. Ramon was on the Ramon was on San Antonio. So that's 1-1. And Elliott was on the Blazers, so 2-1 Blazers. Rich said Spurs play of the day, so 2-2. Curtis said Spurs 3-2. Daniel said Blazers 3-3. Thomas Spurs 4-3, 5-3. So 5-3. That's probably not perfect, but we'll try it there. Give the consensus 3-teamer in the NBA tonight with Philly, with Chicago, and with the San Antonio Spurs. That's a look at the NBA tonight. Appreciate that, gang. Thank you very much for your NBA picks. And it should be a fun night of NBA with that big card here tonight. All right. We're going to go next. We've got one game in the National Hockey League because why not? It's a Friday. Nobody likes to take their family or friends out to an NHL game. Well, I guess it'll be hockey night tomorrow, of course. So let's get the look here with the Senators taking on the Hurricanes in this one with Olmark in goal, maybe for the Senators. Could be Kashetkov. He's still got to fire up the goalie computer for one game here tonight. And unfortunately, we're dealing with a $2 favorite here in this one. We don't even have a close game to look at. Carolina's off of a win last time out over San Jose, but they didn't get the money. We took San Jose, remember, in that one. So for Ottawa, they did win their last game as well as they took down the Ducks a couple of nights ago, 5-1 here. Ottawa hitting the road after a 4-game homestand that saw them win 3 of their 4 games. Seeing some steam here right now in college basketball in the game between Nebraska, Omaha, and Northern Iowa. Steam came in here on the total over at 140. It looks like it's going to go up to 141 or so. It was as low as 139. So definitely a move here to the over with Omaha and Northern Iowa. Also, Northern Iowa took the steam earlier overnight here to move it to 15 on Northern Iowa. So I'm just talking these games real quick. There was another move right behind it. South Dakota State and Colorado. Game total here moving under. We're seeing steam right now to the under with South Dakota State and Colorado. It was 146. Call it 145 here or lower right now. The steam also came in on Colorado just as I was about to come on the air here. It was 8, but it's now 9 or 9.5. It opened as low as 7.5, but the move has been on Colorado, and this move is definitely on the under. It was as high as 146, and we're down to 144.5 right now, pretty much everywhere, based on this widely reported steam. We'll have some previews of college basketball in just a moment. All right, but we're on the game between the Senators and the Hurricanes here in this one, and for these two, right? Hurricanes have definitely been a profitable team at home this season, while Ottawa will cost you more than a third of a unit on the road here. Kashetkov here expected 12-4 with a 2.64 goals against average. Olmark 8-7 with a 2.7 goals against coming into this one. Go ahead in the chat and see if you want to play this $2 hockey game tonight here with the Senators and the Hurricanes. All right, these two teams definitely a trend to the under here so far this season. You have the Hurricanes Well, they're actually kind of neutral, but Ottawa here 4-7 to the under as a dog. They've put up some overs here though of late. Carolina's won 6 of the last 7 meetings between these two teams. Carolina's been doing pretty well at home here of late. We'll say that Ottawa. Let's see, they've covered the puck line. Carolina's won 11 of 14 home games here so far this season. And they actually are 9-5 on the puck line here at home as well. So let's see what you got here, if anything. 4 out of the last 5 meetings between the two teams here in Carolina have gone under, and 5 of the last 7 meetings overall between the two teams have gone under. All right, let's see here. We do have a little bit. Let me just touch on this real quick. We're getting some news here. There is going to be, I want to mention this real quick here. I'll get your plays here in just a moment. There's one additional college basketball game as a write-in game today. I don't even know if I knew about this. So it's news to me. North Dakota, this is a write-in game. North Dakota at Texas San Antonio. We do have an additional game here today, a write-in game between these two teams. No line yet. This will be at 8 Eastern and 5 Pacific. It will be North Dakota at Texas San Antonio. I don't have time to find right now what the deal is and why this one is such a late edition here this morning. What, they just decide today? I don't know. Maybe the game is being played tomorrow, and we know that. Here's the thing. Probably what I'm thinking. What I'm thinking here probably is. No, I'm just not sure why that is, but I'd find it out for you. But let me see what you guys got. Give me the Senators and the Hurricanes. I obviously don't know anything about sports and sports betting here with this one. All right, here we go. Okay. Siri's talking to me again over here. All right, here we go. And might you just rely on you guys here in this one. You guys have a lot of, it's only one game, so here we go. Maybe Fernando is on the Hurricanes and lay it. Curtis is on the Hurricanes and lay it. Puck line. Rich says he'll take it at 6 goals exactly. I think there is what he's saying. I'm not sure. All right. Also here, Philly Eagle Flyer has a bunch of plays here. First period, both teams to score. Over 5.5 first period and full game draw. First period and full game draw. I always get that wrong. When he puts that in there, I gotta read it better here. Okay, you guys are talking a few of those other games there in college basketball. I'm gonna get to college basketball here in just a minute. Elliot Jameson is on the Hurricanes. Here's Nuke in the chat. Good morning to Nuke. Elliot Jameson, the Hurricanes are way better. And then the matchup just a couple of weeks ago was 4-0 in favor of the Hurricanes at home, just like this one. Here, Cash Kane says, oh, give me the Senators plus 2.5 goals here in this one. That's a pretty big price, so I think on that one today. And Sharon says Canes team total over. More college basketball steam here real quick. Weber State and Utah Tech game total going over here right now. It was 142. It's now 143 or higher with Weber State and Utah Tech. Robert McCormick does like the under here in this one. And Elliot says, did you see the UNC football coaches? Who is that UNC football coach? All right. Anyways, how are we doing in this one with Ottawa and Carolina, gang? I'm going to take the the Carolina Hurricanes here on the puck line. I'll lay it today at -1.5 at -1. Oh, let me see what that puck line is actually here, gang. It is at plus money, plus 105, plus 110 here, even a little bit. I'm going to take Carolina in this one. All right, that's our hockey game tonight. So, all right, Tom Reghard, good morning as well. And that's it for the hockey game. Let's go to that college basketball. I've selected 3 games. If you like some of those others here, like I said, they're kind of one. This one's one-sided, but what can I do? I've only got so many games I can choose from. But hey, I thought I'd choose a nice patriotic game here with Army taking on George Washington. Here in this one, you've got George Washington, an 11.5-point favorite, and the total here is like I said, 150. There was some widely reported steam that did come in here on George Washington just as I was. I think it's as I was. I don't think it was on the air here, right? I think it was as I was prepping to come on. You've got Army coming in 5-4. George Washington comes in with an 8-2 mark here so far this season. And let me see here. I've got a couple notes, I think, here on this one with these 2 teams anyway. George Washington, for their strong record, they don't cover the spread very well at all. They've been overvalued a little bit. They're 3-6 against the spread, including 3-5 against the spread as a favorite. Army's actually gone 4-3 against the spread so far. Now, these 2 teams are definitely producing some overs. Army is 4-0 to the over as a road underdog so far this season, and they're also 6-1 to the over overall. George Washington 5-3-1 to the over. Now the steam came in the over. I'll take the over here at -150 in this one. I'll go over with Army and G-Dub. All right, let's see what you guys have here. I do see Robert McCormick here. He's going over in this one. And Elliot says Army's gone over in 7 of their 9 games so far this season. And yeah, I think I was just covering the D1 games there a little bit. So appreciate that. Army and over there for Rich Stubbs. All right. Great. I'll take the over in that one. There was some steam. Yeah, there was AOD, some steam that just came in right now with college basketball. Don't have this one previewed, but the steam came in on the over in the Western Michigan and St. Thomas game. Those 2 teams have had some overs, if I'm not mistaken. It was 147.5, probably 148.5 here right now in that one between Western Michigan and St. Thomas. Here's Georgia Southern taking on Louisiana Tech. You've got Georgia Southern at 6-4. Louisiana Tech coming in with an 8-2 record here so far, and they've covered some spreads too. They're 5-2-1 are the Bulldogs so far this season. Now they're a pretty big favorite here against Georgia Southern. Georgia Southern just 1-3-1 against the spread on the road so far this season. Both these teams have trended over here for sure. So far, Louisiana Tech is 3-0 to the over at home. Meanwhile, Georgia Southern is 3-2 to the over on the road. Maybe they trend slightly over here. It feels like right now. And see what you guys, if you have anything with me here with Georgia Southern and Louisiana Tech here. Maybe it's gone to 146. Let me look at it here real quick. But right now, 145.5, just like it says right there. All right, chat. If you have anything here, Georgia Southern and Louisiana Tech. D Money is here, and he likes Louisiana Tech. Thomas likes Louisiana Tech here as well. And Rich Stubbs likes Louisiana Tech here. Uh-oh. I think we know where we might be headed here. We might have a fourth consensus play because here's Elliott on Louisiana Tech. It's a 4-0 lead for Louisiana Tech. I'll take the over here in this one because it certainly feels like you've got Louisiana Tech as a consensus. So I'll go with the over here in this one as my play, and the consensus is on Tech here in this one. Sharon says Georgia Southern team total under here in this one. All right. And I think I've picked a couple more here real quick, but we got the big one of the best game of the day. I don't know, how big it is. Not bad, not a bad game at all. We got Indiana coming here 8-2 on a 4-game winning streak right now. Nebraska 6-2, but they're coming off of a loss against Michigan State by 37 points on the road. But maybe at home, they've already upset Creighton at on the road, right? Remember, they beat Creighton in an upset 74-63 as a 10-point dog. So they've had some successes here so far, have the Huskers, but they are 2-3 against the spread as a favorite. Indiana is 6-4 against the spread overall. These two teams have played overs so far when facing off. In fact, it's 5 straight between these two teams, if I'm not mistaken. I'll peek at it here real quick. See if I can get those 5 straight games here. Last year, the game here in Nebraska was 93-66. Huskers crushed them by 27 points in a game they were favored in by just 5.5. Wow. I'm going to take Nebraska. I don't think it's necessarily based on that, but I will say 5 straight meetings between the two teams have gone over, and also 5 straight meetings here in Nebraska between the two teams have gone over. Those aren't the same 5 games, but nonetheless, a lot of overs. Also here, the they've had 2 meetings here last year actually that went over, including 86-70 in another meeting. I think the other meeting may have been a tournament game actually, but the meeting at Indiana also went over last year. See if you guys have anything here. Hope I didn't screw that one up too much, but I think I'm going to just take the Huskers as my play here and lay the 4.5, especially if this is, I don't know, I kind of like this total. We'll see, but it's 153.5 now at some spots. I'm going to start it off with I think I'm catching up here. Justin says, take the Huskers. Thomas is on Indiana here. And Elliot says, give me an outright upset with the Hoosiers on the road. Sharon says, Indiana first half. Dana says, I'll take the Hoosiers plus the points. Rich says it's going to be about a 5 or 6 point game in here. And let's see here. Sharon, first half over. And I think that's going to do it for this one. I will take the Huskers here and lay the points in this one. One more in college basketball to look at here, I thought was a decent one, with South Dakota State taking on Colorado. You have Colorado here in this one as a favorite by 9.5. We reported that steam, remember, so better update this one here at 9.5 or so. And the total here is down to 144.5, as I said, because the steam came in on the under as well. There we go. Take a look here at this one between South Dakota State and Colorado here. So could be feels like a pretty good matchup for Colorado here, but man, that steam driving this thing up here to a pretty big number, and a South Dakota State team that has covered a few spreads here this season, although they just came off of a 14-point loss at Nevada. They were getting just 11.5 there. They've gone under actually in 4 straight games here, have the Jackrabbits here in this one. For Colorado, they're off of a win over in-state foe Colorado State, 72-55 at home. They did cover in that one. They didn't cover as a 15-point favorite at home against UOP. Let's see what you guys maybe do in this one. Colorado 4-2 against the spread as a favorite so far. South Dakota State is 0-4. Like I said, 0-4 to the under here on the road, and Colorado mostly trends under as well. South Dakota State is over in 2 of their 3 games as an underdog, however. All right, go ahead, gang, if you like this one. This is the last college game, college basketball game. I actually am going to look at the college football game on the night here in just a moment. I'm going to take I'm going to take South Dakota State here in this one as my play. I'm taking these points with the Jackrabbits on the road against CU. I think CU is going to be pretty popular, but I'm going to go contrarian in this one. Let's see if you do anything here. Thomas is on Colorado, and Elliott's with me in this one. He'll also go over. Yeah, I think that's it for college basketball. We did end up with a consensus play there on the Louisiana Tech Bulldogs. Hey, if you guys have any other game out there, let me know here in the chat. No, then we'll move on here to one quick football game. Whoops. Okay, the spread has come out on that North Dakota, Texas, San Antonio game. It is Texas, San Antonio -7, and the total is 152.5. That game is at 8 Eastern and 5 Pacific. So don't have much on it. I just want to report that to you. I did not know that game was even being played. Maybe I'm not the best host of a sports betting talk show in the mornings on YouTube, but I don't know. I didn't know about it. All right, Cash Kane's got some soccer action for us. Appreciate it, gang. I have one game here in FCS football with Idaho taking on Montana State. Now, I've already said that Montana State is my pick at plus 190 out of these final 8 teams to win the national championship. They're undefeated this season, so I think I got to be honest. I think the spread's gone too high, and I think Idaho is actually the team that's going to cover this game. It might be by the half point here, or, well, I say 14, but there's definitely some 14 and a halves out there as well, but it was as low as 10, and, the steam came in on Montana State here in this one. The steam also came in on the over. I'm just going to take I'm going to take Idaho in this one. I don't think that's technically a hedge when you're talking about a 14-point spread, Bam. I definitely think that Montana State is going to win this championship here in FCS, but I think the spread's just gone too high. I do think it is close to a 2-touchdown game. I like the total a lot, so I'm going to just recommend Idaho here. They're coming in hot too. They've been covering games here left and right. They covered in their playoff game against Lehigh 34-13 as a 17-point favorite, and they beat Idaho State to close out the season 40-17 as a 9.5-point favorite. They did fail to cover against Weber and against Portland State, but they covered against Eastern Washington. Montana State here rolled over Martin 49-17 as a 19.5-point favorite. They also rolled rival Montana 34-11 in the season finale as a 15.5-point favorite. So give me Idaho, though, in this one to get the money tonight against Montana State in FCS football action. All right, Terrell did go over in that George Washington game there against Army. Thank you. And let's see what Thomas, you talk about this football game here. It's FCS. So you might have to look, if you have your book there, you have to look under that FCS game here. We're in the final 8 games. The 3 games tomorrow we'll cover then. All right. Elliott likes Montana State here, 38-21. Justin likes Montana State. He got a good number. It's definitely 14 here, a little bit. So, all right. And that'll do it for that one. Okay. Elliott says Bobcats will pull away in the second half. Thank you, Elliott. And I think the show's over. What am I going to do? That's it. We're done. It's only 10:30 Eastern. All right, get ready. Enter in your names. I'm going to do the commercial, talk about my picks here today. So you can get more picks from me here today, including my NBA card. I think I'm going to go pretty heavy. Hopefully, I just gave you a bunch of winners, but I'll have my best picks over at winnable.com in the NBA tonight. Also, college basketball, I'll have some play. I'll handicap that North Dakota, Texas, San Antonio game. I'll probably get a premium out of that now. Also, the hockey game tonight, maybe I'll look at that total. And I do have a premium pick in the game between Idaho and Montana State on the total. So, but more so, hey, grab these plays. Join me this weekend in a big college basketball. I don't know if it's a huge college basketball card, but it's a nice college basketball card on Saturday. It's pretty big, so you can ride with me, grab a couple days package here with me, maybe 3 days or so, and get my picks for the weekend. I'm going to give out a bunch of free plays tomorrow, I hope, but also you can ride with me on my high volume plays. College basketball, we've been hot. Despite yesterday, ended our winning streak in college basketball yesterday for sure. But let's turn it around here today. I think we've got some good picks coming. I think we just had some good picks here with our selections. So check me out over at winnable.com/Ramon. Let's get ready for the drawing here to see who's going to get our consensus parlay today. What is it? Is it a 4-teamer today? 3 in the NBA, 1 in college? Hopefully you're signed up in here, and let's go. We've got 38 of you. All you have to do is comment in the chat to be eligible for the consensus parlay. We're 0-32 so far, but maybe tonight is the night here. And Rich says, are you going high volume on your picks or small slate? Usually, Rich, on a smaller slate, I still have a pretty good volume because really what the difference is, right, on a take college basketball, for example, on a short card. Let me call myself up here. I'm talking behind the screen here a little bit, right? There we go. On a short card, I'm going to have more time to look at each and every game. College basketball Saturday, I kind of have to go through so many games and then decide if it's eliminated from, and then dive deeper type of thing. So could have still, I would think here on a game like on a card like tonight where there is 9 games, I could have, I don't know, 4 or 5 premiums. So, okay, let's get ready, everyone. Hopefully you're all entered into the drawing here. And Super True Story says, what do you have on the Merrimack game? I'll say this, Super True. The Steam came in on the over there. I don't know if I have anything just yet, but that could be one of them. Also here, let's see, what else? And Elliot wants me to sing the Redskins song. Oh my gosh, I don't know if I should. I might get kicked off the air. Thomas Lewis says Sixers, Bulls, Spurs, and Louisiana Tech. How about that? And Terrell says NBA, because of the NBA Cup, Terrell, they every team had to have their schedule clear in case they made it to the NBA Cup finals. And then these games are actually made up of, they make the schedule of a few days here of teams that didn't make the NBA Cup to make up for some of the games. Actually, the round. Remember, they don't count the final games, but all the games before then were counted in the NBA Cup, and these teams have to play to make up the difference in the schedule of the 2 games that were played. So, or 4 games that were played in the quarterfinals there. So, I think I got that right. Let's see here. Rich says, what about Weber? What about the Weber game today? Well, I'll say this. The widely reported Steam did come in on the over a week. I think we covered that on the show. So I may not have the picks quite ready if we didn't have it there. Let's see here. Terrell says that Merrimack total, big jump here with that Steam. Yep. Billy Eagle Flyer, like in the Senators, cash game, like the under there with the Merrimack game. Let's go here. And there's Subhuman with some of our soccer action today. Thank you. Let's do the drawing now and end the show here. Am I going to the South Point? I don't know. See, James, I don't know if I'm going to go get some hot dogs today. My name is Here we go. Let's do the drawing and end the show. Thank you, everybody. We got this one done in relatively quick fashion. Here we go. With Rich. It's going so fast. Fernando, C. James, Super True, Joe, Nasty Nate, Cliff, Fernando, Thomas, Andrew, Justin, and Old E's back on top. Old E gets another chance to win this 3-4 team parlay here today. Congratulations to Old E. Let's finally win one, you guys. Let me send somebody. We have a 4-teamer today. The views have been good. We'll get at least 300 views, right? So why couldn't we, have a $30 winner for Old E? I'll send it PayPal. I'll send it Venmo. I'll send it Cash App. I'll send it Zelle. What else? How else could we send it here today? With you just let me know, Old E, how we're going to get it to you once you win. You don't have to tell me now, but nonetheless, Old E is our winner of the consensus parlay. We're 0 for 32. Could you imagine? I thought this was going to be great. I thought I was going to have to win all these parlays to give out the money. And basically, I've just been burning money here a little bit. All right, that's it for the show, gang, today. Catch me tomorrow with more Morning Steam, 9 a.m. Eastern and 6 a.m. Pacific here on the Sports Money Network. Don't forget, Mikey Money will be here today at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 Pacific. He'll get you ready with the prime time action here tonight for our card. He'll come up with some plays here too as well. I know Mikey had some nice winners yesterday, including Chattanooga and Evansville game to go under yesterday. Winner for Mikey Money. He also was on yesterday the Raptors with us. He was also on the under in that Sacramento New Orleans game with us. So good job, Mikey. That's some winners on the show yesterday. I thought there was another one there. The Lightning. He was on the Lightning yesterday. I was on the Flames. Good job, Mikey. All right. So make sure you check that out. Also, don't forget, guys, tomorrow we will have our companion show for the UFC card in Tampa, the last UFC card of the year, with a pretty popular main event as it's coming down right now with certainly one of the most popular guys out there, right? With Colby Covington. He's a big dog here against Joaquin Buckley. So we'll see what happens with UFC on Saturday night. Make sure you join the guys here with our live coverage. But also don't forget, we have First Strike. And if you guys were on the show with us last night with the football, I wasn't there, but I was watching. And we were going through the game, and Razor pointed out that there was a horse named First Strike going at Turfway Park. And we all loaded up on First Strike. And we were watching the race on the show, and First Strike was back there looking like Zenyatta way back. And here come First Strike with a powerful move down the stretch, and First Strike crushed it. It did go up at 8-5, but didn't matter. They were having so I was going crazy here by myself, but that was fun. First Strike got the win, and our show First Strike with the guys with Jeff M, with Mike, with Sub, and with Fanatical Jim. Their 4 best picks on the UFC action for this weekend, so you can get ramped up for that on Saturday. And also, I did my show with VB MMA Picks here on the VB MMA Picks with Ramon Scott channel. We made our show for the week, and we had Clint McLean on as our guest this week. So check out that video as well. Get you more MMA action here for Saturday's card. So it'll be a great Saturday of action, including that UFC and by the way, the Army-Navy game. We've already talked about that just a little bit to reiterate. The steam did come in on the under 17 of the last 18 Army-Navy games have gone under the total. You can be that person and say, look at me, I took the over. But and it's funny, right? Army is obviously much better than Navy this season, but man, you know what? Sometimes we've seen this movie before where one team was better than the other in the Army Navy game, and it just doesn't matter. The underdog is always going to come to play. And of course, it goes under because you can't let those people watching around the world think that we have bad defense. So it's always going to be a low scoring game in my mind. All right, that's going to do it for the show. Thanks, everybody, for a fun show, and we'll catch you tomorrow with more Morning Steam. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate everyone in the chat for a fun time here today. And, boy, it seems like I'm a lot full of vigor when we have a short show. All right, for the Sports Money Network, I'm Ramon Scott. So long.
Can't escape from the team called the Morning Steam. It's time to break, run for cover. That's gonna cover, that's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the Morning Steam. What? Ramon Scott. Sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the